The next thing I'm going to show you is how I start. What I do is I take my washer, I place it into my bucket. I then take we're going to fill up 2 gallons. So I take my 2 capfuls, pour it in, take my other capful, pour it in. The reason I put the T-bar in the bucket is you want the water and you want the bucket to be soapy, but you don't want it to be so soapy that the only thing that's on the glass are suds. So when I go to add water to my bucket, I let it run on my washer and not in the bucket itself. So now that you have your 2 gallons of water, what this will allow you to do is show you how sudsy you want the water. Because remember, when you're walking around the house, you're going to be slopping the water back and forth in between the bucket. So you do not want the water in your bucket to be extremely sudsy. And also when walking around the house on the exterior, you do want to keep your washer in the bucket itself. What that does is that acts as a buffer so that the water doesn't start splashing around your entire house. So with the window being a little bit taller than expected, you have 1 or 2 options. You can go with your Ettore Reach It extension pole, or you can go with your standard step stool. These poles are great for a consumer's home. The way that you use it is you spin it counterclockwise, which allows it to loosen up, and then you spin it again counterclockwise and you lock it into actual place. When loosening it up to bring it back down, you want to make sure that you have your hand on the top piece, and you want to make sure that you have your hand on the bottom piece, and you want to guide it down. You never want to just allow it to fall right down, because you could pinch your hand, you could pinch a finger. The way that I like to get set up is I like to make sure that I can reach the top of the window without overextending my body and allowing the pole to do the work for me. So what I'll do is I'll grab my washer. You do not want to apply a large amount of water and soap to your window. So what I do is I give it a quick little rinse, a wring. And then what I do, one of the things about Ettore that I like is you can clip these into place so it's not going anywhere, and it allows you to clean the entire window and get it wet, and it's not going to go anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I mop a window. And I basically go the length of the T-bar, or I go the length of the washer, and I make sure that everything is wet. I make sure everything that's rinsed off, and then I flip my washer over again, and I just go through the entire window and make sure that everything is wet. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you how to squeegee a window. And again, all Ettore's products come with a hole, so you are able to clip it in. You're always going to want to start at one side of the glass. You never want to start in the middle. When you're doing a window, you want to keep the part of the squeegee that's facing towards the wettest side of the window. You want to keep that down so it minimizes your streaks. What I do is I just make straight pulls down when using the pole. So you have the window cleaned off. The next thing to do is your minor little details. What I always do is I always grab my Ettore microfiber I attach it to the top of the pole, give it one little flip over, and now you're just able to detail that window. And that's how you clean a window with your Ettore extension pole. The next way that I'm going to show you how to clean a window is using your basic household step stool. You always approach the window. You always make sure that you're not overextending your body or overextending your arm, and always make sure that your tools are working for you. The way that I go about wetting the window is the same way that I wet the window with the pole. First way that I'm going to show you how to clean a window is the fanning. In our industry, this is how we clean a window. Basically what you're doing is you're going side to side, touching each side of the window. That, in my opinion, and the way that my business is ran, is I use the fanning method on almost every single piece of glass. Now the next way I'm going to show you how to clean a window is I'm going to show you how to do straight pulls on the piece of glass, just like I was using the pole, but there are a couple more tricks that I'd like to show you using the washer. One of the ways that you can go about making sure that you're getting everything off the dirt is the same way that you're going to do the pull. So I will always go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. What that allows me to do is I'm tracing and I'm tracking that dirt the same way that I'm going to be squeegeeing the window, so that I know that when I have that squeegee water and when I bring it down, I know that I'm bringing the dirt down with me. I like to do with the straight pulls, again, is just wipe down the edges, because when you're cleaning a window and you have your solution set all the way to the top of the glass, you're going to notice that when you make a straight pull down, you're going to be bringing all of that residual water up there, and that's going to stay up there until you wipe it off. Once you apply your Ettore microfiber and you wipe it off, if you haven't detailed or cleaned up that water, it's going to leave a trace of water. One or two ways I like to do it if I'm doing straight pulls is I know that I have a 16-inch squeegee. So I will go down to a certain point and I will continue to do my straight pulls all the way down. Once you get about halfway through the glass, you want to wipe down your squeegee and you want to finish it off just like that. And then what you can do is you can bring it straight across just like that with minimal amount of detailing. I just give it a quick wipe down. And there you go.